One of the most effective and meaningful relationships I had in recovery was with my addictions counselor, who was asking me things. What do you want? Like, how do you feel about your drug use? Like, what do you want to do? Another component of his approach was education that was really effective, because it wasn't education with the goal of like scaring me or changing my behavior. He explained like the continuum of addiction and like how that works, and how it's like the initiation of substance non-use, and then the initiation of use, and then how use escalates, and how once you start using, you never go back to the point where you had never used drugs, but you always you can pull it back, but there's always the chance that it might go forward, and that like addiction and substance use is like, it's a lifelong thing to manage now that you've started using drugs, and especially now that you've experienced cannabis use disorder, which people always laugh like as if it's cannabis, like how do you get addicted to cannabis?
Thinking about like the phase of like heaviest cannabis use is kind of like there was no development that was happening for me. Like I definitely feel like I had an experience of kind of stunted emotional and developmental growth because I didn't learn coping skills, because like why would I learn coping skills when I can just smoke weed about it?
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden it's like, okay, like I was hospitalized before grade 12, and then I went through grade 12 like medicated and kind of struggling, and even took a year off before going because my parents were like, well, you know, like, oh, just like, yeah, don't push yourself too hard. And then even so, getting to school, I was like, I didn't have the same skill set that my peers did going into it. Like I'm like, you have coping skills? Like you know how to manage your stress? Like, I don't know how to do this. Like I'm crying in the bathroom every day. Like, this is great.
I found that when I was trying to quit after smoking 3 or 4 grams a day, then it was hard to eat. Definitely a hard time getting to sleep, so insomnia, very challenging. There's 4 Ds that I really learned that really helped me stay off cannabis, and because I wanted to. That was to deep breathe, so my meditation, distract the craving, do something else, get your mind off it, delay the craving, even if it's not just delaying the craving, it's delaying the thought of the craving, because it'll go away after 5 to 10 minutes if you let it. Drink water, because the more you smoke, you get really dehydrated. The reason why I quit cannabis isn't just because I wanted my lungs to be healthy, but because I wanted my mind to be clear. I want to be able to do the work that I could do. Like, I want to be able to go to university, have a job, have friends, have family. And generally speaking, I feel like a child when I use. I feel like I'm Little Leaf. That's the example I like to use. Yeah, when I'm Little Leaf, I can't cope. Whereas when I'm Big Leaf, 25-year-old Leaf that's speaking and talking right now, then I can handle what comes my way through coping mechanisms that I've learned and dealt with. But when I'm Little Leaf smoking cannabis, then I don't feel like I have those. I feel like I'm a victim or a prosecutor or a rescuer.